Hello everyone, happy full moon in Aries, October 9th, 2022. The high peak is at 1:57 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 16 degrees 32 minutes for those who meditate. You can meditate for 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So let's get into the meaning of this full moon. All right. So this full moon is in Aries, like we just said, and Aries is in the third house. Okay, the third house of Gemini. And the third house, it is focused on the way that you're thinking, the way that you communicate, even your siblings. You could be experiencing learning something new, looking at the activities that you're doing and seeing if they match up with what you need right now, because you have Chiron in retrograde and you have Jupiter in retrograde. You also have the full moon, so you have those three energies within your planet. And for Aries, think about your healing and what it is that you need, right? So let's look at the message for this full moon. Okay, this full moon, based on where the planets are placed for Aries, and also some other alignments as well. Okay, so really look about feeling good about yourself. That's the message for everyone, all zodiac signs. And if you start feeling good from within, you'll start to feel better. So whatever the situation is that you're going through, it's really taking a deeper look within and taking the basic steps that you need to feel better physically and mentally, and allowing yourself to move slower towards your healing or towards your goals. Okay, now let's look at some of these planetary placements. We have Mars trining, or Mars trine Saturn, 4 degrees 2 minutes. So this can give you inspiration to work and not think about being tired, right? So it gives you this like Mars energy, right? And we know Saturn has that energy of mastering whatever it's doing. So really focusing on, say, your end goal, or focusing on what really matters to you, but also refueling yourself. That could be breath work, that could be mentally, that could be resting, that could be doing what is needed to get done, the most important thing first. So managing your time, right? So really being organized that way, using the best qualities of what Mars and Saturn represents. Being careful, being consistent, and going after what you want, being a go-getter, focusing on what will bring you the security and stability that you feel you need right now in this chapter of your life, getting organized, and know what your strong skills are. Having this strong mindset will help you to deal with obstacles and challenges. So that's a really powerful trying to meditate on, to focus on. And the trines are is it's a it's harmony for this tool that you'll use. You can use it in your meditation. You can use it in a way to allow energy to flow, and in a more positive way, in a more powerful way, to something that is important to you, whether it be work or a goal, whatever goal that you have. So Jupiter in opposition to Mercury, 3 degrees 17 minutes. And the opposition is a challenge, right? So it could happen in many different ways. It's referred to as being like a dynamic aspect, all right? And you can use it to bring about some kind of contrast. You can look at it as something that could be stressful, but it could be a positive attraction that could feel stressful at first because you're trying to figure out how to make something work. And it's also considered like a slow and constant action that you have to do. So however that will apply to your particular situation, but you could be feeling any of these type of planetary interactions. Okay, so Jupiter oppose Mercury, 3 degrees 70 minutes. So try not to overthink anything. So try to keep a balanced mind and approach to everything you think and believe. Okay, try to balance that out. This can bring about big ideas and big changes in your life. And this is based on how you are thinking. So sometimes what you're thinking and say will not match up, but this is your way of really dealing with your day-to-day situation. So you can interpret this depending on the situation is realizing that the way that someone chooses to communicate and go after their goal, even if it's jealousy or lack of manners, it's just their way of dealing with it. Don't take that in, handle it, and handle it in a question form, right? So if you're responding to them, you can answer it as a question form, or you can just blow it off and be like, I'm not even going to give this any attention. This can also help you recognize how you communicate and rethink what you're saying, right? Or rethink what you say so that it doesn't block your success. So how are you communicating with others? Sometimes you don't need to talk. Maybe you need to ground yourself, right? Communicate with yourself and focus on your Jupiter, right? The way you communicate to yourself is that Mercury energy. If Jupiter is in retrograde, then you definitely, which it is, you definitely want to not try to push anything, make it happen, right? So if Jupiter is in retrograde, then this is like a good time for you to slow down and to think about how you can better communicate with others. Now let's look at the Sun trine Mars at 6 degrees 13 minutes. So again, a trine is a tool that is harmonious, right? So it's like tuning yourself to, however, you can look at it in the psychology way of it. It's like tuning yourself to whatever it is that you want and really developing into that, right? And let that energy flow. And even if it's a slow way of getting there, be slow and constant at your action. Sun trines Mars 6 degrees 13 minutes. This is a harmonious aspect. You will find inspiration and the desire to reach your goals with a clear and objective mind. You will have the energy to feel competitive, and the best way to use that is within yourself, not stressing yourself out, but just like writing down your goals, right? Try to find a healthy way of being competitive with yourself. You'll feel aggressive towards what you want, towards reaching that desired goal, and that's that Mars energy, okay? And the Sun is thinking about itself. So definitely you can use this as a meditation point and find a meditation that matches that, right? So if it's like Kundalini Yoga, Hatha, any kind of meditation, doesn't even matter. Just let it match these planetary alignments. All right, this gives you the energy of being ready, and the impatient energy that you might feel can also help you to find a solution to whatever your goal is or your situation. So you'll easily overcome any obstacles because you are focused on seeing your goal and you're looking for that solution, and you have a time frame of when you would like this to get done, and you can do that, so you can make that happen. All right, so that's a look at the trines for this full moon in Aries. So now let's look. There's a grand trine of the Sun, Saturn, and Mars. So this is really about looking at yourself and looking at how you master things. This is just one way of looking at it, right? And how you put your energy towards that. So the full moon in Aries is about you really focusing on what you need in your goals. And I saw this write-up about how Aries will feel like, and I'm going to try and find that because I clipped it, okay? So let me try and find that info because I thought that was really interesting, okay? So this one talked about Chiron let's look at Chiron in Aries, okay? So your emotional pain, and this is just one take on it in astrology, your emotional pain comes from you feeling worthless. And it's like not that you feel that way. Aries are very confident, but you are so driven to make sure that you are okay, you can take care of yourself, you're living the life that you want, because you definitely is one of those strong signs. Aries is definitely, you don't want to live under anyone's foot, right? So it's very often that you'll put a lot of pressure on yourself, so that could turn into physically not feeling well too. So just be mindful of the need to actually relax, okay? And when Jupiter is in Aries, because it's a lot of focus on yourself and being able to take care of yourself, being sufficient, right? So it's a lot of your self-confidence, and others can see that, right? So you have this level of confidence, and you are focused on your dream, you're focused on realizing your own personal power and how you can live your best life, right? And you're willing to soak up all the information, the knowledge that you need, and you're willing to enjoy your life and go on adventures, and that is very attractive to others. And this full moon, use it to, let go of anything negative and to fill yourself with that energy. So having Jupiter in your sign, having, even if though it's in retrograde, just don't rush yourself. Just know that things will happen. That's for everyone, not just for Aries, okay? And having Virgo so close to the sun, with or having, excuse me, Venus, not Virgo, having Venus so close to the sun in Libra, your opposite sign, right? A lot of you Aries could be traveling. A lot of people could be thinking about the time that you want to travel, being having Libra in the ninth house, right? So this full moon has that strong meaning for not only Aries and Libra, but also for other signs where this Venus energy, and I want to tap into this before I even go further, and I'll come back to the trine. But this Venus being so close to the sun, and when it has this conjunction later on, I'll make another video for that. I'll talk about that later. But this Venus energy in Libra is making a lot of people think about romance and the core meaning of, love. So the core meaning to what you feel when you love, and looking for perfection in your partner, and looking at your partner as a mirror image of yourself. So if someone doesn't add up to that, you'll know, but you'll still keep loving them or being around them because something about them benefits you right now. So Libra is known for wanting balance. So you're looking for balance, you're looking for peace, you're looking for surrounded beauty, right? This could be, everyone could be feeling this planetary play between Aries and Libra at this full moon, because that's a strong energy, right? So you're looking at this strong play of love, right? So it's like you're looking for balance, looking for peace, looking for surrounded by beauty in yourself, your partner, whatever beauty is for you. So why are you always looking for peace, harmony? Are you destroying it and then looking to rebuild it? Are you in this reestablishing more of that harmony, peace, and balance, right? And how many times does that happen? So looking at that and seeing why, right? And see how being indecision plays with that. So maybe there's some overthinking or not categorizing things correctly, right? So what does this mean, right? So looking at how you're looking at yourself and looking at how you love yourself. And for some of us, that could be a lot of trauma work from the past as well. But for others, it could be just looking to fuel more energy for your current life right now if things are great, right? Or if things are okay or not good. So another thing that also came up for this full moon was looking at courage, right? Because Aries has a lot of courage. So what do you need when you are implying courage for yourself, right? Staying focused. For a lot of air and water signs for this full moon, it's about you maybe meditating or staying focused on courage, all right? And remember that Chiron is the wounded healer in Aries. So what does Aries need to heal? What does Libra, their opposite sign, need to heal? And what does everyone need to heal, right? Looking at where your Aries is in your birth chart, and where's your Libra in your birth chart. Where is Venus in your birth chart can also help you this full moon. And looking at where the sun is in the ninth house, to higher education. Are you looking for new work? Are you looking for new things? That has to do with the ninth house, right? Looking at what you believe spiritually, religiously, looking at travel, looking at law. Right now, maybe looking at law for what's important for you, because you realize that all of this trickles down to what is best for you, maybe for this year, the next 6 years, someone could be making a decision that impacts you the next 3 years. So you can look into that. Higher education, maybe you're trying to get better work or just a better pay or whatever. You're looking at the meaning to how you think, right? So a lot of things can happen at the full moon. It's never just one thing for anyone. So you're looking at that, and this grand trine of the sun, Saturn, and Mars, looking at that meaning for you in your life. Okay, looking at the sun trining Saturn. Okay, so this is about your ability to work hard for what you want and taking on responsibilities at work. Some of you might be experiencing that. So this trine happens at 2 degrees 11 minutes. So any kind of work related issues, you can focus on what's best for the self, and that's that Saturn energy. All right, so that you can take responsibility for something that feels unbalanced at work and really trying to find balance there. Okay, and really looking at your self-concept, because the way that you look at yourself will determine how you feel about yourself, and you put off that energy. So feel strong and confident about yourself. All right, and don't be too hard on others. And if you find that something is lacking at work with someone, let it be. Just you hold on to the solutions that you have, right? And work through that. So let's look at the other one. So the sun trining Mars as well. Okay, so let's look at that. So that could be, let me see, I don't believe I covered that one. So that was one that I didn't cover, but I feel like it's important. So the sun trining Mars, it's harmony there. So how can you use it, right? It gives people the desire to really set goals or objectives, and it wants you to meet those goals and those and I did cover that actually, right? So it makes you want to meet that, right? So you'll feel impatient at times, and I did cover that one already. I just realized that. So that one is a very strong one. So really focus on what you can do for yourself. So there must be a reason why I had to go over that one again, looking at the chart. But look at what you can really do for yourself, because you can find the power in that for this full moon. So powerful. And also even more powerful is if the last 2 years, 2021 and in 2022 this year, if you've had big shakeups happen, because I know I have, at the new moon in Aries, and when the new moon came again and the full moon came again, and here's another full moon, is closing out that BS that you've been through, or is closing out that powerful good shift. So everyone, not everyone is having the same kind of experience. So whether it was a good one or a bad one, you've closed the chapter now on the full moon, on any Aries full moon or new moon. Boom. Okay, so you've closed that out, and the next time that there's an Aries full moon, see what is happening in your life, and if you've made the changes. So the planets could only do what they do, and you can interpret those energies and use them in the best way, right? Block the energy, use it in a certain way. All right, and learn the lesson from it and move forward. All right, so the Mars in Neptune, I believe I covered that one already. Let me look. I keep closing out what I wrote down. I'm like, oh, I don't need it anymore. I get rid of it, right? Never throw away your stick, because you never know when you'll need it. So Mars and Neptune, did I cover that? I don't think I did. So let's look at that Mars. So Mars squares Neptune 0 degrees 38 minutes. So this is like this could be like a fresh new start, okay? So I didn't look at this aspect yet, so let me just take a look at this. So this aspect it is really, so gosh, this one has like, I'm looking at the wrong one. So Mars squares Neptune. Is that what I said? Let me take a look at that. Yeah, Mars squares Neptune. So with that, this is like, okay, it's so funny, because I looked at this and I was like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. And it is so important, because it hit hard and it hit real, because if you're born with this, or this one is one that's happening because Mars is the ruler of Aries. So Mars, and I don't like being the bearer of like negative news or bad news, but it's something to look at what we're lacking, right? And we can learn from our power and what we lack. So Mars squares Neptune 0 degrees 38 minutes. It's like living in a mystical type of world, right? And it's like a battle. It's a fight because it's reinforcing this fantasy that this person have and their imagination, right? And they often prefer living in a fantasy and their imagination than what is real. So they can have great ideas. They could be the best people in other aspects in their birth chart, but they might not be practical people, and they may not tell you that there's a problem in the best way. They might tell you, but they won't focus on it, and they'll act like everything is okay, and then they end up destroying themselves and you, and then they end up having regrets, and then they end up being honest about it, but then saying, oh, I'm just not good at this. And it's kind of like a coward way of dealing with things. So, you know, they can have a practical approach to life, right? That could be like impressive, but also they can, have like unrealistic, like fantasies or fetishes type of activities, right? And they can promote themselves in this grand illusion and being unrealistic with their ideas, and it can very much be chaotic, not only to themselves and to others. So if you're dealing with someone that is like that, or if you had a past experience with someone that was just not realistic, it's like a battle within themselves, and they might also put that on others as well, right? So it's like not not really being as responsible as they should. So whoever has to deal with a personality like that or someone with that, you you have to really be like a brick house to yourself in being responsible, right? So this 0 degrees is like a new start, right? A new start. So if you've dealt with someone that was just living in a fantasy, or if you're that one, then a meditation for 40 minutes that can clear your mind would be really good. Okay. Let's see. There's another interpretation on this as well. So another way of looking at this, okay, is if you feel like you have to kind of fight for something that you want, right? You can also interpret it as really being brave, or looking like you are, let's say, glamorous, or just looking in a presentable way to get the outcome that you are fighting for, that you feel strongly desire for. Okay. With this square, you can be very assertive. You can have courage. You can even have the need and the love for power. So this could be played out not positive for the person that's receiving it, but for the person that's doing it, they feel fine. They're very assertive. They have leadership. They're very independent, right? And so that they can use and really say manipulate the Neptune energy so someone can see the illusion, but behind it they're totally being a Mars. Okay, so if you're using that energy to protect yourself, you're fine, but if someone else is feeling it, they're not fine. So this full moon in Aries, you can kind of clear that negative experience within yourself, or if you've experienced someone that you might not know that they were born with that, but they might have been using that type of technique, you can clear yourself from that. So back to the courage. This full moon offers you courage and healing. It offers you success by moving slowly towards what you want. Don't get frustrated if things aren't working out the way that you want. Focus on that positive Libra energy of self-love. Having that sun close to the Venus energy will be a powerful full moon for you to tap into love energy, rose quartz, all of that. Okay. So let's tap back into focusing on the sun conjuncts Venus being so close, right? This is so powerful and wonderful, okay? So 3 degrees, 22 minutes. Do the meditation longer, maybe a 25 minutes meditation or a 30 minutes meditation, and focus on what you want. If you are affirming for something or you want something, this is great for, this is like, it highlights a strong feminine energy. So both sexes can benefit from this, right? From the sun conjuncts Venus. So focusing on your creative side or your artistic side, and how you are optimistic and you want to enjoy your life in the company of others around you. So this is a great aspect to draw in friendships and people, and just communicating with others on a good positive level. It's also great for fashion, and what your taste is, what you feel is fashionable to you. Your energy can really boost that, and just be yourself, and connect to your own fashion and your own way of expressing yourself. All right. And this aspect has a lot of love and pleasure, and enjoying what you feel are the finer things in life. If that's being in nature, if that is being, having dinners at restaurants, or once in a while, or whatever feels like fun for you. Okay, really tap into that energy of self-care, of self-love, and what it means for you. And being that it's in the ninth house, maybe you need a vacation, maybe you need to travel, maybe you need to read something that's inspiring and lift you up. Maybe there's a need for a higher understanding of something. Maybe your whole life you've been understanding something about yourself, and what you need, and what love is, what relationship is. Maybe you've been understanding that on a lower level, and maybe you need to understand that at a higher level. Okay, so I've been talking about the transit for longer than I want, so let's get into the horoscope. Okay, so let's just connect to that. It's all about healing and success, and letting go of any kind of negative um, experience with love too. Okay, so that can also be there. So for Aries, like I said before, it's really healing yourself, and realizing whatever goal you want, you move slowly towards that, and you will get it. Okay, there's no need for you, Aries, to rush towards that. All right, so let's go to Taurus. Taurus, for you, it's about moving towards your north node. It's about you connecting to, fighting for what it is that is important for you. Okay, and Uranus is in retrograde, so it's going to be a slower outcome for what it is that you want, especially if it has to do with family or feeling secure. But just keep working towards what is good for you, and being private about it, not sharing it with everyone, because not everyone will understand, or that they will understand where you're going and where you need to go. But focus on where you need to go and what you need. You have the north node in your sign still. Gemini, you have Mars, so it's really about focusing on what your desires are, what is important to you, everything that Mars stands for. Your energy. How are you using your energy? What do you need to stay active? Your courage, your assertiveness. So really focusing on what it is that's important for you. And Gemini, you can really benefit from that. Cancer, your horoscope. This is about you feeling lucky, tapping into that luck, tapping into that feeling of anything is possible, and make that private too. Not You don't have to share that with everyone. What are you in denial about? What do you feel empty about? Really focusing on how to get to the things that you want, and being strategic about it. Okay, that's going to be very powerful for you. Leo, this is about you really tapping into, like, say, the seventh house energy. The core of your relationship and your partnership is very important, and making things very positive for your love life and for any relationships that you have. All right. Virgo, it's about how you communicate. All right. This is about how you think. The way that you think is going to affect every part of your life. The way that you learn, the way that you communicate with others and people that really love you. Okay, so that is very powerful this full moon, and that will affect your money. That will affect how you communicate with others. Will affect your money, your love life. even your future, right? So at every different full moon, we're thinking about different things. And for you, it's a very Scorpio energy. It's about your trauma. It's about um, how you can create positive and negative uh, memories with people, okay? And how you receive, how you make money. Also, that could tap into that, the way that you communicate. Libra, of course, you're next to the sun. You have the sun. It's your birthday season. Happy birthday to all Libras. It's the sun. And you have this Venus energy. You are ruled by Venus. So is Taurus, right? So it's connecting to you thinking of where you want to move to, what you want to do, travel, all that ninth house experience. It's about how you communicate with yourself when it comes to love, okay? Very powerful. So really think about that and how that focuses and how you refocus that and bring balance and harmony and joy and peace into your life. Boom. Okay, so we have Scorpio. Scorpio is really looking at how you're using your past life talents, your past life experiences. How does that play into your life? You're on the spotlight. This will affect your career in ways that you may not realize. So, and your relationship with others. So, it's about what you're saying and how you communicate. You can't hide that. So, it will always show what you are really thinking by what you're not doing, because it won't match up. Your words and your actions won't match up. So, look at your South Node and look at what lessons you've learned from the past, and if you're going back to things that really don't serve you, but you're very wise about what is good for you and what is not. So a lot of people can benefit from that wisdom that you have, so you know what is right for you and what isn't. So how will that affect your career? You're on the spotlight, so whatever it is that is not what you're truly feeling will be highlighted. Strong in the career, but also strong in your personal home relationships as well. Okay, so just make sure that what you're thinking, what you're feeling balances out. If it's something that you don't really like, step away from it and be kind about it and let it go, and it will just play itself out, right? Sagittarius. Okay, so this is about you and what you aspire to do this full moon, and how you go about reconnecting to things that are important to you. This could be people, places, goals, friendships. Okay, so create healing around that in this fiery brother sister moon, your fire sign Aries. So really connect to what you really want to go for and how you want to heal. All the fire signs can benefit, including Leo that we just talked about, from healing, about going after what you want and how you heal, balancing your emotion and how you feel for yourself and care for yourself, and how that applies to your 11th house, how that applies to your friendship, and what do you aspire for in these friendships, in these relationships that you want to get, and how does this affect your goal in life. Okay, so we have Capricorn, and Capricorn, your main focus is the core meaning of things, right? And how we change and how we shift and how we grow. The negativity towards it, the healing that needs to come from it is this full moon. Let go of judgment and look at your own personal power and how you want to transform, how you want to grow. This is a strong Pluto power for you, and it also is matching up with not ruining things for yourself, and really spiritually grow. Do a lot of dream work, a lot of meditation, and this will give you the boost of confidence you need when you're dealing with any anything that you feel that is bigger than you, right? You can make it through. So don't put things off. Don't feel that you can't accomplish what it is that you want. Okay, Aquarius, you are looking at the power of you. Okay, what can you do by yourself and master your time? And how can you get more organized, more order in your life? Okay, and focus on really thinking clearly for yourself. It's kind of like a ruthless energy, but it's going towards something positive and good for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to offer you freedom and consideration. So consideration can mean different things depending on who is experiencing it, right? So I feel like if I add more to that, it will just pollute it. So that's the message for Aquarius, and make sure that you're moving slowly with mastering anything, and you will get there. Okay, so think strongly about yourself. It's going to be really important. Okay, and for Pisces, your main focus is your visualization and how you imagine yourself to be, and have understanding for your situation and maybe someone else's situation that you are opposing, right? So see things from both sides, and don't forget to be spontaneous, and that you have the power to change your mind if something isn't working, but do it in a balanced way. Okay, and slowly move towards understanding things. Okay, pay attention to your dreams as always. Pay attention to your intuition and slowly move towards what it is that you desire. Okay, so I hope you all enjoy this reading. Please click like, it does help the channel a lot. And I'm going to be sharing this on my different platforms. So please click like, and I'll see you guys. Enjoy the full moon.